Good evening, I'm Shane Jones, leading the news at 7. Finance Minister Chris Sinclair does not believe some private sector companies are retaining enough of the foreign exchange they're earning in the island. Leading off debate on the 2017 appropriation bill and estimates of revenue and expenditure, Mr. Sinclair called on private sector bodies to impress on their members the need to contribute more. He's also revealed that government is clamping down on companies that receive concessions. This is to ensure the maximum amount of foreign exchange due to government is received. Ryan Broom has more.
Mr. Sinclair says government simply wants what is fairly due when it comes to foreign exchange. He also pondered just how much of a return government is getting for some of the concessions that it gives.
I don't believe it is enough, and in fact I believe that the bulk of the foreign exchange being earned is not making it into the system and needs to make it into the system. And if there are vast amounts that are being held outside of Barbados, a little bit more. We don't want it to bring all, but bring a little bit more. Help the country out. Don't only get up and talk about how much reserves are in the central bank. Help out the country a little bit. Help the country out a little bit. Give a little more. Bring some in. That's not our reasonable call, is it?
The finance minister says the importance of making a greater contribution must be impressed upon all concerned.
But we have to invite people to lift the country up. It's a nationalistic thing. Bring some more money on board. Let us see some more of the foreign exchange coming in so that we don't have to borrow as much and we can have a more consistent supply. Now, truth is, some people may say some of that has to do with confidence. Maybe it does. But I still think that on the basis of what we're seeing, people can pull their weight a little bit more than they have been doing in that particular regard.
Mr. Sinclair noted, however, that government has already started its own efforts to ensure that foreign exchange inflows are maximized.
We've issued new guidelines to investors and developers seeking tax waivers and access concessions that support for these investments will continue, as I said, but such will have to be done on a position that at least 1/3 of all the foreign exchange brought into the island, both for the construction of the properties and the investment in the properties, or on the sale of the units, be put directly into the Central Bank of Barbados.
He says additional measures are also being put in place.
It is also our intention to absolutely maximize inflows from all foreign funded projects in the pipeline, the ones that remain. We have approved a $30 million loan for the Barbados Water Authority with CAF. They're working on the disbursement documents now, and that should come in over the next few weeks to months. And there is the $50 million Caribbean Development Bank sponsored $50 million Caribbean, and that for the BWA, that's the BWA Water Master Plan project, and for the Caribbean Development Bank, there's the BWA Water Network Upgrade Systems project, which is a slightly different project for $50 million. That has been approved and signed and laid in this Parliament as well.
The estimates debate will continue throughout this week. Ryan Broom, CBC News.
Thanks, Ryan. Government is courting multiple offers for the sale of another major government asset that could yield about $100 million. That's according to Finance Minister Chris Sinclair, who has not yet revealed the name of that asset, but he says it will be forthcoming. The news comes as government awaits FTC approval on the multi-million-dollar sale of the Barbados National Terminal Company Limited.
Cabinet will shortly give be asked to contemplate the sign-off of another viable and highly saleable commercial asset for which the government has already received no less than 12 very, very, very serious and lucrative, commendable offers, I should say, and it is expected that if that is approved by the cabinet, that it will earn in excess of $100 million during the course of this calendar year.
Mr. Sinclair says the pending sale would be yet another major injection of foreign exchange. He also disclosed that he has advised the Central Bank of Barbados of an offer from a regional commercial bank to provide some support for the island's foreign reserves.
If necessary, and we will make that judgment over the next few months, we have made an offer for up to $100 million on a loan. We have not taken it, we have not decided to do that as yet, but we will monitor the reserve situation over the course of the next month, and if necessary, we will engage that particular facility as given. But the staff from this week will be working on the specific details of that, and of course it has to come to the House of Assembly, so we will inform the House and the country as well.
Opposition leader Mia Mottley has labeled the estimates presented in Parliament as an admission of failure by Finance Minister Chris Sinclair. Noting Barbados' high debt and continuous downgrades by rating agencies, among other things, Ms. Mottley says the government has put the country in a precarious position. Responding to a challenge from the Finance Minister to come with ideas, she contended that the Barbados Labour Party had been offering solutions all along. She restated a few of them.
1. Address our fiscal governance by stemming its hemorrhaging, and I'll come back to that. 2. Stimulate and facilitate growth in our economy, predominantly by non-fiscal measures. 3. Make it easier for Bajans to do business, whether as citizens or business people. 4. Root out corruption. 5. Strengthen key institutions in this country that are now faltering and have now led us to have a remark from Standard & Poor's that our institutional governance is now weak.
Speaking specifically about the country's debt situation, Ms. Mottley said government was advised to refinance some years ago before the problem became critical.
Now, we've been saying it for 4 or 5 years as a party. If you have the Minister of Agriculture saying it for 4 or 5 years, and you have the Right Honourable Member for St. Peter saying it, what are we doing?
A late winter snowstorm in New York has forced the cancellation of several direct flights to Barbados. As a result, JetBlue flights 562 and 662 scheduled to leave Barbados for New York tomorrow have been cancelled. Similarly, the carrier's flight 1261 scheduled to leave JFK Airport for Barbados has also been called off. However, flight 1561 set to leave New York tomorrow night at 11 is still on schedule. The cancellations have also affected flights in and out of Trinidad and Jamaica. Okay, we'll take a short break here and come back with more news.
Don't let your data experience slow you down. Step up to Digicel, Barbados' fastest 4G network, more than twice as fast as the slow network. Get more with Digicel. Digicel, the fastest 4G network in Barbados. Dial *153 to sign up to Digicel today.
Secure your future, be financially strong. Since 1983, we have been there for you. A smart range of products, great tax benefits, with a solution to your hopes and your dreams. The Barbados Workers Union Cooperative Credit Union. The Barbados Workers Union Cooperative Credit Union. Humble beginnings to smart loans, smart savings. Save smart and borrow smarter. That's the move for me. Stop it.
Need affordable motor insurance? Get up to 30% off plus additional discounts for new and used vehicles. Call 436-6200 or log on to beacon.co.tt. Where you need us, when you need us.
Hello friends, this is Jeff Shepard inviting you to join us every Thursday from 6 to 7 on QFM for Nichols Bacon Inc. Manor. Always fresh.
Yo, warm to them! Yo, it's your boy Ricky Diesel. Boom, we have the girl them like a fizzle, shizzle. Friday, March 31st, give me soca, bacchanal on the beach, it's gonna be crazy. Boom, and I'm gonna be there. Freaky girl that we love, y'all bend down, you thing on fire. Boom, boom, you thing on fire. Y'all bend down, you thing on fire. Freaky girls, give me soca, bacchanal on the beach, I'm gonna be there. Crazy.
98.1 The One is a proud sponsor of Gimme Soca.
At least one government minister is acknowledging Saturday's March of Disgust as a legitimate response by Barbadians to air its disapproval about the state of the country. However, he believes this week's estimates debate is a good place to start in charting the way forward. More from Kareem Smith.
Government must take note of the strong messages being sent by the people of Barbados about how the country is being managed. This is the view of Commerce Minister Donville Innes in response to Saturday's March of Disgust staged by the opposition Barbados Labour Party, which attracted thousands of Barbadians. While General Secretary of the ruling Democratic Labour Party George Pilgrim accused the opposition of being unnecessarily negative about the outlook, Minister Innes believes many Barbadians are genuinely concerned.
There are times when you are going on a route that you may think is the best course until you listen to others who then say to you, look, perhaps there's another route that you have to take. And I think the people of Barbados are speaking.
Mr. Innes said while he hasn't lost faith in government's ability to run the country, he believes swift action must be taken to arrest the problems. And he thinks this week's estimates debate is a good place to start.
I intend to speak to many of these issues this week in Parliament, because I think that we have a people that are resilient. We have people, most Barbadians are very patriotic. Barbadians want to see Barbados do better. I'm satisfied that the Prime Minister and my cabinet colleagues also want to see Barbados do better. So I'm satisfied that the programs that are being looked at will bear some fruit.
Minister Innes also responded to accusations that his stance on the opposition's march is an attempt to preserve his political career. He says his interests will always be about what's best for Barbados, and his stance merely reflects this. Kareem Smith, CBC News.
The head of the Barbados Tourism Product Authority says a zero-tolerance approach needs to be taken to stop indiscriminate dumping and littering across the island. Dr. Kerry Hall says it's time Barbadians change their behavior and take greater responsibility for how they dispose of their waste.
From a tourism perspective, a lot of our guests come from countries where you have to reuse, recycle, etc. And Barbados tends to be lagging behind a bit. And the problem that I have, even though we have bins, etc., people think it's okay to just throw things through a car window or a bus window or while you're walking, to just drop it. It is senseless littering, and that is the problem. That is what we need to stop. We need to plug that hole with the senseless littering, where people are not even conscious of when they drop that wrapper. And the watchword is, I give in the sanitation people work.
Dr. Hall was speaking to CBC News following a cleanup of the Warrens district by members of the BTPA over the weekend. They were joined by staff of several businesses in the area. She says she was shocked by the amount of garbage they collected within just 1 hour.
There were a lot of plastic bottles, a lot of cigarette cartoons, a lot of juice cartons, a lot of plastic bags. There were sometimes big, we came across a big plastic container. you know what I mean, there were some fridges, etc. You would be surprised what you would see and what you pick up in these. A lot of snack bags, like Conquerors, etc. A lot of those bags, even receipts from fast food places in the area.
Education is vital to effecting change in getting Barbadians to reduce their use of plastic bags. This assessment from the General Manager of BICO, Joanne Pooler. Ms. Pooler, who is advocating for consumers to pay for plastic bags from supermarkets starting on May 1st, sees education as vital in effecting change.
But it is proceeding for May 1st. There's some education that's required between now and then. We have done one radio show. We did Morning Barbados this week. So we're going to be doing a lot more of that stuff and sensitising the public as to why they should reduce the use of plastic bags and why this is necessary for us as a country.
As the sugar harvest continues, the local Hindu community is already giving thanks for a good harvest as they observe Phagwa. Sharika Griffith has that story.
Phagwa or Holi is a Hindu festival which falls in February or March each year. The Festival of Colors is a time to meet others, play and laugh, forget and forgive, and repair broken relationships. Over the weekend, hundreds gathered at the Barbados Hindu Temple to join in the festivities. Hindu priest Thakur Prasad said it's a time of merriment for followers of the Hindu faith.
It is our New Year Day, and also it is a time that when good has overcome evil and everyone sing and dance and enjoy and eating and drinking with many colors, a powder, a beer, a black, and also the ash of the burning away of the evil.
He also says the festival has grown significantly over the years.
Year after year we're getting bigger and brighter. And this year we have people from all over the world, Canada, America, Mexico, Trinidad, all over in the Caribbean. We have lots of nice songs, eating of all delicious food and drinking nice beverage, no alcohol.
There was plenty food and dancing as participants were covered in colorful powders to signify breaking down barriers of discrimination by making everyone identical. Among those in attendance was a group from the University of the West Indies Cultural Studies Department with lecturer Dr. Marcia Burrows.
Hindu New Year is blessings. So we're the University of West Indies. We have a number of students here we brought from cultural studies. We have American students, Canadian students, we have Belizean, Venetian, Vincentian, Dutch students, and Barbadian students as well. This is quite a time.
The festival will conclude tomorrow. Sharika Griffith, CBC News.
2 schools will be closed tomorrow. That's according to the Ministry of Education. They are the Blackman and Gollop Primary School at Staple Grove and the Talma Berry Nursery School at St. David's. This is to facilitate the Ministry of Health's debushing program to remove the cabbage plant from the area. Both schools are expected to reopen on Wednesday. After the break, we'll take a look at stories making headlines across our region.